before you got here anyways, but I didn't think you were getting here on time.
Early,
to be honest.
early. You know, when I've got to be at work at 9:45 tomorrow morning. I mean, I got to get up at 7:30. Hopefully my dog walker doesn't show up at 11:30 again like he did last week. I was like, yo, man, I just left. No, I'll come back by later. I'm like, yeah, if I'm about to go until 10:30, you can come by a little bit. 11 hours is a long time for a dog. He can do it. He did it for 14 hours because Jack forgot it one time.
Aww.
Yeah, dick.
Sláinte, cheers. It is from Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general. I'm Paxton. We have Clint Moses over there, and we have Sunset Kelly on the ones and twos. But not really.
Not really. He's
because
on
in the number 24 car, we got Kelly Gordon over there. We'll be posting a picture of this kiddo.
Yes, he will definitely be posting a picture of him drinking wine out of the bottle.
He is not on the ones and twos. He's not a producer. He's a pit crew.
He's on the pit crew. Yeah, he's on the four wheels of wheels of steel.
Yeah.
The wheels of steel.
So we'll have to cut to our crew chief a little later, see how the performance was in the first half. Thank you guys for listening again this week. It's been
the Spotify video will be back this week.
Yes. YouTube went up. Yes.
YouTube's up.
Yes.
We've been having some mechanical difficulties.
But we got a new crew chief now. So tell us what we're drinking today, Clint.
So today we are drinking. I'm not going to try to get this thing right because I'm too shaky. Montepulciano di Abruzzo. It's an Italian red wine. It is not. It's from like the eastern central area of Italy. Not to be confused with Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, which is a Tuscan grape.
I know all that stuff.
So this is Montepulciano is the second most grown grape in Italy, behind Sangiovese. Sangiovese is like the ingredient in Chianti, Super Tuscans, Brunello, and so this is like more of a table wine. It's a little easier. It grows super easy. It's not complicated to grow. It doesn't. It's like the weed of wines. It's so easy to grow.
Yeah. So Maynard James Keenan could probably grow it.
Yes. It doesn't take a lot, so it grows well. It's lighter. You can tell it's it's good with grilled chicken, grilled meat, light meats.
It's really good. I think like just plain pasta with sauce on it would be great with this.
Yeah.
This seems like it should have, after you're done with it, it should have the basket around it and you put the candle in the top. I mean, it's not Chianti on
Chianti. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
In that realm.
But yeah, it is Abruzzo is the most popular Montepulciano there is, and Umbria, there's a couple other places, but
the Archipelago Alhambra.
Yeah, in Savannah.
Yeah.
But so one of the only problems with it, if you harvest it too early, it gets a little green. But this is a wine, you age it very lightly in the barrels, then it's refined in the bottle, as they say.
Okay.
And so it's a DOC, not to be confused with
the DOC.
The DOC, but I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't notice you had a mustache also until just and it caught me way.
You think a pit chief wouldn't have a mustache?
This is really selling it. You're taking Bridgie too far. So DOC is Denominazione de Origine, and then DOCG is Denominazione de Origine Control. It's just basically like the district you're allowed to grow this wine in. DOC is a little broader than DOCG.
They do that with Iberico ham and stuff like that. All the certain cheeses have a DOC on them.
Almost 98% of Italian wines have this little band around the bottle here, around the neck. That just says this is a DOC, not a DOCG. Pinot Grigio is the one that usually escapes that, but every other wine, red wine, especially most whites come out of there, have this little white band around the neck, and it just kind of, that's what, if you see that, you immediately know you have an Italian wine. This is from Bosco, not to be confused with George Costanza's PIN number or PIN code to his ATM.
If you remember that, kids.
Yes, Bosco.
So you said band.
Band.
Well, do I have a story for you?
Do they make me dance?
Man, so Saturday night. I'm just hopping right in here. Thanks.
This is good because I've been trying to get some information from you and I can't. It's good. I'm glad.
So we're gonna get to a Patreon later about some.
We have a Patreon coming up tonight about a bachelor party involving a transvestite that I was at, and I had to. It was quite a night.
So if you're not a patron, please subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com/from Behind the Barcast. Thank you for watching and listening on YouTube, Spotify, and thanks for following us on Instagram.
Oh, you know what we
and
forgot to
Facebook.
do?
What?
Hey. Yay.
I hit the right button this time. Things are going great.
Yeah, well, I don't want to cheers too hard on that glass.
I know this glass is so broken. I can't keep a wine glass for more than 10 minutes.
I know. I'm going to wash this before I leave and put it back
and
myself.
put it somewhere where I can't touch it.
Yeah. So if you want to send some stemless wine glasses, they get some tumblers for Paxton.
Stemless.
Maybe even like a hard plastic for him.
Fiberglass. I don't know. Something that,
PVC alloy. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever the Invisible Man made a suit out of. I think that would. Yeah. Well, anyway, so
bands.
So there's bands. They play music. They play drums, guitar, and bass, and then there's karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've heard of both. Karaoke, you have a machine.
I heard someone report that Frank Sinatra is an advanced karaoke artist today. On a podcast, I was like, "Ooh, spicy!"
Ooh, that's spicy. So yeah, one, you play a machine and you sing along to it. The other, you play. You don't do the two at the same time.
Milli Vanilli?
No. So Saturday night, I go to work. It is unseasonably busy and warm. It is February 20-something.
25th, and it was 84 degrees was the high.
So
we broke records Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I think today. Or today didn't break it because of the wind, but it's been...
You could tell the weather was nice because everyone went outside to enjoy it, and by outside, I mean on the deck of Huckapoos.
Going to be a nice mild summer, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. So outside of it being warm, I only wore one shirt that night. So I was like, all right, I'm already kind of winning. So I get there. I haven't sweat yet. And I look up onto the outside stage, and I see there's some tables that have been reserved around the stage. And then there's a banner up there. And the banner says Parrot Head Karaoke. Now, if you're an actual cool person and you don't know what a parrot head is, that's basically like a spread head for widespread panic. Parrot head is a person or people or group that follow Jimmy goddamn Buffett and Jimmy Buffett's music. So this is called karaoke.
And every time you hear that song, it's not in paradise.
It is. You are never in paradise. And I will never eat sponge cake. So they called it karaoke. And Joe T and I, the bar back, we were like, can they not stand up when they sing?
Jimmy Buffett, I bet. I haven't seen him perform live. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he does not stand a lot.
Well, no, it's just a mashup of charity and karaoke. So the concept is cool, I think. So this is what you do.
Okay.
You sign your friend up to sing a song, and you pay an amount of money. If your friend does not want to perform that song, they have to double what you...
But what if your friend is broke?
They got to sing.
Okay.
So I didn't know that's what the system was. And then once I found out, I was like, I will spend $100.
You sing professionally.
Exactly. I don't sing karaoke.
Especially because you don't know, you're not getting to pick the song, huh?
And you don't pick the song. So inherently, guess what I heard 3 times?
Uh-oh.
What a Wonderful World by Tragic Mike Henderson. Guess what I heard 2 times by 2 different artists? I Got You, Babe, Sonny and Cher. Guess what I heard 2 times by 2 different artists?
You're not letting me guess. Hold on. Okay. Under Pressure?
No. Think about the karaoke song.
Foreigner. Or,
Close.
Don't Stop Believing.
Don't Stop Believing. Heard that twice. Now, this is throughout the night, Casey, one of our employees, goes up there and does a Wrecking Ball and killed it. Miley Cyrus. The only highlight, really. But when they were setting up, the first song they played to make sure the speakers worked. All right, no one was singing it. Can you guess what the worst song for Paxton Lee Willis?
Wagon Wheel.
Goddamn Wagon Wheel was the first.
So whoever's in charge of this is not familiar with you.
Literally.
Or they were like, I want to poke this bear.
The thing was, I would have a rule that you don't repeat songs because the 2 times that I Got You, Babe, it was I Got You, Babe, and then song, and then I Got You, Babe.
Yeah, and that makes the crowd lose interest.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm not a big karaoke person at all. Yeah. I'll go occasionally to a karaoke bar, and I've got to be lit. Yeah. You got to get me on stage. I don't even want to remember. So
and it's got to be Run the Jewels.
Yeah, Run the Jewels, or as Vinny did to me at our Christmas party in 2019. He was like, and Clint's going to come here and sing Coke Whisper right now. And I was like, huh? And I like, no warning.
He's just going to do the horn part. So the night's going on.
And on and on and
and
on.
on and on. So they started at 8, and at 9 o'clock, I thought I was going to be closing soon. And I looked, it was 9 o'clock. I was like, this has only been going on for 1 hour.
I thought they had live music on Saturday night.
Okay, here comes part 2 of the story when I mentioned the bands. So,
Yeah, I was like, you said bands.
so 10 o'clock rolls around, and I start hearing from inside, and I was like, I know what a live drum kit sounds like.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
There was a lot of people outside, so I didn't see a band loading in. The band is loading in at about 9:30. They're getting all sound checked and ready to go. I guess they figured they had to be on the clock at 10 o'clock because the band started playing during
karaoke.
karaoke.
They didn't
Okay.
invite the band to participate in karaoke?
I wish they would have. So the guy running it, he's like, well, I hear the band playing. We don't want to, interfere too much. So we're just going to do 3 more songs, and we got 4 more announcements for raffle tickets. From 10 to 10:45, it was karaoke outside, band inside. Neither of them were conceding.
Good for the band.
The
Good for the band.
Yes, this was a battle of attrition.
I'm sorry for whatever charity this was for.
Yeah.
Did they at least sing in chairs?
No. And Joe T came up to me and goes, yeah, they're really not sitting down to sing. I was like, yeah, you thought that too?
I mean, look, if you're going with the name, at least stick with that.
You're
part
kind of
process.
geriatric if you're doing
yeah.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. So it's okay. So, I'm glad you didn't tell me this before, but it's wrecking my brain here. So I'm on the side of the band here. What was the charity? Do you remember?
No.
I'll donate money to them. Do not have to do this ever again during a band. Also, why didn't you start at 6? Why not start karaoke earlier to get over?
I thought there was a rule that if we had outside music that you had to stop at 10. And I thought everyone, on Tybee was aware of that.
Well, it won't be a problem soon, apparently. More to that later. We've got some updates on the noise ordinance.
I got that update last night. Yeah, so till 10:45, it is Battle of the Bands.
It sounds like that. It's not like DJ Febreze is playing.
Yes,
Complete
exactly.
train wrecks.
Think of my nightmare right here. I can hear the karaoke way better than the band because I'm right next to the karaoke. And the band is in there.
Well, you can just hear the drums pretty much.
I can hear.
And who was the band?
Pocket Change or something. It was a good band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Local-ish band, but they always have they have like a rotating cast of really great musicians.
Yeah.
Like young black dudes from the church.
Oh, yeah.
Which like,
Pocket Change, not.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot of, So if you get those young guys, they have they're called gospel chops for a reason. Like all those dudes are super talented. And they always have the same girl that sings,
Okay.
And she's, she works the crowd and all that. But not much you can do when the karaoke outside is literally 10 times as loud.
Ugh.
That is my nightmare. And then my Karen is coming up. She was a part of that, but in the second half or whatever. But
Karaoke?
Karaoke. Oh my God.
Karaoke.
I want the manager. Hey, Chardonnay and the manager.
Let me speak to him. Let me speak to him.
Pinot Grigio and the manager.
Karaoke who never stops.
Karaoke. She never stops believing she needs to see the manager.
Hey.
So it was, but during the thing, it was the tale of 2 tips, right? So we're way more busy than anyone expected. The employees, because the karaoke people had just booked the night before because they had lost, I believe that they had another venue. And then that became unavailable, so they had to book Huckapoos, at the 11th hour. And so at the 11th hour, so we were all kind of surprised. So then they take up a lot of the deck. It's really busy. So tale of 2 tips. I have people that are regular-ish, and I guess they're upset or whatever, and I'm giving them exemplary service, but not being compensated for it. And then I start getting frustrated about an hour and a half into this of these people, because I'm like, if I'm going to endure this torture, I would like to earn a living.
To get paid for it.
Yeah. So then I got an influx of college-aged students who couldn't find a table, and they were like, could we just get some to-go food and stuff? I'm like, where are you going to sit down anywhere? Like I was
You're a
like,
grumpy old man.
yeah, I was like, are you going to take a seat somewhere? I know it's kind of hard to find one, but don't order something for me. And then you walk over there and then I come back out here. I'm like, I'm hot.
Both mentally and physically.
Yeah. So there was like 6 of these people that were either like kind of ordering pain in the ass drinks at 9 at the time, or they wanted food and said, we're out in the parking lot by the, by the basketball rim or whatever. All those people tipped me like 100%.
Nice.
I was talking about college kids. A kid got a pizza, $20. He tipped me 20 on the pizza.
Damn. They were like, this guy looks like he's having a hard time.
I got 14 Coors Lights for, Frisco Dave or whatever, and he tips me $1. It was
Goddamn Frisco Dave.
Frisco Dave, I can't stand that son of a bitch. So it's
Frisco Dave and the Coors Light sounds like a karaoke band if I've ever heard one. Frisco Dave. Frisco Dave and the Coors Light. That might be our title later. Frisco Dave and the Coors Light.
That is the title.
Well, of course.
And they're big women. They're big. They've been tapping the Rockies. That Colorado
They've been drinking
Kool-Aid.
the Coors Banquet, not the Coors Light.
Yeah. And real Kool-Aid.
And at least it's beer though, because so Kelly and I we've been disc golfing.
Yes.
Pretty, at least like twice a week now, I guess.
At least Kelly never quits.
Huh?
At least Kelly never quits.
Hey man, I got bit up today or something, whatever it was. So we go out there and I was like, I see some people out there. We've got the course kind of to ourselves until we run into this group. Well, I saw a twisted tee by one of the benches where you
was it a little. Did it have the holes in it?
No, so it didn't have any holes in it.
You investigated?
I didn't have any holes in it. Then about 2 holes later, I see a can of PBR. And this, I'm not saying it's litter. They might have just
put it down and forgot about it.
Then who do we run into? Dreidel Mike, who drinks the Twisted Teas, and Devo, who drinks a PBR. And they're out there throwing disc. I was like, I saw you coming from 4 holes away.
Yeah.
You damn litter bugs.
Go back, get your trash.
Go back, get your Twisted Tea and your
This isn't the cooler Huckapoos. Kids, leave it in here.
Exactly. And there's like, I showed it in the very tasteful disc golf video I did for the city of Tybee. They've got this, what's it called? When it dangles and it klingles. Wind chime. Mm-hmm. It's a wind chime full of trash.
Totems.
Yeah, it's a wind chime full of trash. They hang like panties and discs and pit bull amulets, stars of David. What are the stones that the purple guy has? Yeah, all that shit. They got Hulk hands in there. They got dodo tail feathers. They got squid beaks.
That hole needs a trash can.
Yeah, the hole needs a trash, and it looks like a hanging trash installation. So people leave their shit there thinking it's cute.
Oh God, that's not fun.
Also, there's a tree right next to the new. There's a new hole. It's so typically your disc golf basket. Shut up. Is about this high off the ground.
Purple guy
is about this high off the ground. Well, they built one hole they put it on top of a lighthouse. So
I saw that. It looks pretty cool.
It don't throw cool. It's not good for the golf, man. I'm a purist. But anyways, so over there's a tree.
You're a pure ass. Hey,
have you ever seen the movie with Will Ferrell about them?
Talladega Nights? Sorry. Kelly Gordon got me on that.
About them getting onto Eurovision,
No.
which is like the American Idol of Europe. Well, they live in like Norway and they all believe in gnomes or some shit. And they build these little gnome enclosures in trees. Someone did that over there on Tybee Island. It's like there's a little moss patch. There's like 4 troll dolls in there. It's like a creepy ring style.
It's called Eurovision Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't tripping.
I still haven't watched it.
I thought you were tripping because I'd never heard it. Oh, it's got a pretty decent cast. It's him and Rachel McAdams. I'm in.
Oh yeah, I thought
Pierce
it was Amy
Brosnan?
Poehler for some reason. Yeah, but they were like
Stevens?
they believe in gnomes or some dumb shit like that over there in those Scandinavian countries. It's like they either wield an axe into your head or they believe gnomes are real.
Their gnomes are real.
They will shave
It's
their
an axe
teeth
gnome.
down. Huh?
There's an axe, a gnome with an axe. I think that's called the dwarf.
That's
in
what-
Lord of the Rings. Not a purple guy.
Not a
God.
purple. Hey, whatever, man. I read.
You read.
Comics.
I stuff read. Speaking of reading stuff, guys, go to Connect Savannah and vote for Hot Grits as best podcast in the city, please. I've been voting for him every day. Once he told me last week he votes for me as the best sommelier in the city every day. Please, if you want to embarrass me, vote for me for that so I can win and be like, it's not me.
So wait, you're not a sommelier?
It's weird. You would think. I mean, I'm pretty like I'm not to toot my own horn here, not to cheers my own glass, but I could probably sit down and study for 4 hours and take care of it because the first test is not hard. Second test is pretty hard. Third test, I'm not even screwing with that.
Yeah, because I've watched Somm on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there, but they give you 3 reds and 3 whites for the final
But
test?
the first one though, you can look at the wine.
Yeah.
So like I can look at a wine and get pretty close, smell and taste. I can smell wine, but all right, this is most likely this grape. And this was like, is it Chardonnay? Is it Riesling? Is it Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah.
Easy. Is it Cabernet? Is it Pinot Noir? Is it Malbec?
Yeah.
Like that's not going to be difficult.
But the final is the region.
the
grape
master
region,
sommelier?
yeah.
Oh, it's grape region year and winemaker.
Woo! And the maker?
Yeah, well, that kind of comes with the
I guess so,
winery.
yeah.
But like if it's Screaming Eagle, you got to know which generation made the wine.
Wow.
It's no, thank you. And there's only like 400 in the world.
Well, you didn't even have to do that to win Best Somm in Savannah. Remember, vote for Clint King, Connect Savannah, and Hot Grits Podcast.
I'll be so embarrassed if I have to see Jason Restivo and be like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened here, but you're a loser.
I wonder,
If you're not first, you're last.
do you accept the award?
Yeah.
You have to, I
I have to
guess.
accept the award. You'd be like, unless you want to come there and Kanye me.
I would gladly.
No,
I'm going to
you
let
won't.
you finish. Yeah, you're right.
You're
I
not.
wouldn't.
You're not going to come to an award show.
I pretended I had allergies today, so I didn't have to hang out with people.
Yeah. Speaking of hanging out with people, I tried to bring this cool collapsing baton I bought on the internet one day when I was stoned to the podcast, and I was going to scare Kelly with it by like doing this. And so I brought it over here, and it's like it's this big. It's 2 inches collapsed completely when it came in the package from China. Ordered it from Canada, came from China. Nothing's going well here. And so I ordered 2 because it was 2 for $30.
30 cents?
And so I take the first one out and I hit the thing to, it's supposed to be a defense baton. And I just was high. I was like, this will be fun to play with. And so the first one comes out and immediately falls flaccid and rips. It's like spun steel kind of.
Right.
And so it's telescoping.
It's supposed to be telescopic, but telescopic has ring after ring after ring. This is spherical.
Spherical, and it's just one continuously piece of metal. It was just
Continuous piece of shit.
Yeah. So the first one I get breaks.
Sorry.
So I like email them like, look, I have my money back for this. And then this one would once I got it out, wouldn't recollapse. I was like, I'm going to eat the discharge on this. I'm going to use it to play with the podcast. So I brought it over here. I kind of told you about it, but I wasn't going to tell Kelly. And then as I was coming upstairs, I went to pull it out and went plonk, and fell apart again. So I just threw it on the floor in the middle of the living room. And Paxton came back from the store and was like, what the hell is this?
All right, now my living room is full of shit right now. Like drums are everywhere. But it's like a cat when you put something new in the room. I was like, what's that new thing?
Yeah, and it was metal too. I threw it next to the drums on purpose.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like, what broke? what thing of mine
So
broke?
I didn't want to come in empty-handed. So instead, I brought. You've been off social media for a while. So I brought this. And we're just going to put it in front of Paxton and see if Paxton can figure out what exactly that is throughout the rest of this segment here. And I'll tell him on the beginning of the next segment if he can't figure it out.
Okay, so don't try and guess right now.
If you want to throw a guess out?
I'm gonna think about it a little bit.
Yeah, it'll come to you. It's it's there. The thing is, I get this, and there's no tag on. Look, it has no tag or identifying mark on it. It's just this thing, and I'll post a picture of it later. Like it's just this thing, and so I get it, and I'm like, where would this have come from? It just has California's return address from whatever store it comes from. I don't want to look up what it is. I want to sit there I sat there and stared at it. It's fine. I took a picture of it and put it on Instagram and Facebook and was like, or posted both and was like, what the fuck is this? And who the hell keeps sending me weird stuff? Because it's the second weird thing I've gotten in a week.
Wait a minute. This came to your house.
To my house.
Unprompted by you.
Unprompted. Oh, you went for the camera to see? Yes, sir. I was doing it so Paxton could see what it is. But, he can look up to the side. And so I posted it. And the varying responses were great, including people that are like, "Oh, I bought one." A couple people. Once you figure it out, we'll talk about it more. Let's just let it sit and simmer in your brain.
I'm trying to see if you're throwing out innuendo words or anything.
I have thrown out one innuendo word, but I threw out five misdirects as well in there just to kind of see.
Yeah.
So there's that thing.
Okay.
Right there.
All right.
It's a thing. And so he's going to think about this. We're going to take a break. I as a little surprise for the boys, did some pickle brined chicken. Now, we're not going to bread it and fry it like Chick-fil-A does because they don't cook on Sundays, so screw them. But I've made homemade Chick-fil-A before. It's the fire, but I brought pepper jack cheese to roll this chicken up in, and because I went to the grocery store before this.
Please tell this.
Okay, so I go to the grocery store. I walk up to the customer service checkout. I need to get some cigarettes, and I have 2 bottles of Montepulciano de Abruzzo. I've got a jar of mayonnaise, a package of pepper jack cheese, and a pack of cigarettes.
And a pack of Parliament Lights.
A pack of Parliament Lights. And the lady behind me goes, "What an interesting gathering of objects." And I was like, "You should see what I have in the car." She's like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "I said you should see." And she immediately was like,
Oh, she didn't follow you to the car.
"No, it's weird.
That's weird.
You wouldn't think so."
She's like, "What's he going to do with that
And the lady
mayonnaise?"
behind the counter was like, I was like, my buddy asked me to bring these things, so here's what I'm bringing. She's like, "Okay." It's
weird
wine. It's wine, mayonnaise, and pepper jack cheese, and you get a cigarette for afterward. You do whatever with those things.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you were at you were at Publix, right?
Yeah.
If you were at a different store, they'd have been like, he needs mayonnaise and wine.
Yeah.
Publix, they're like, "Excuse me, sir. Should you be shopping here?"
You're shopping you're shopping. It's our pleasure, but this is not my pleasure.
This is not pleasurable.
I'm not sure what's going on. So yeah, I'm gonna dry those out and sear them in the cast iron skillet I brought Paxton as well.
And when you brought it in, I saw that it was blue plate mayonnaise.
Yep, which is not. It was. I bought this mayonnaise because it was buy one get one free. I knew I was going to leave it here.
And
I don't buy the blue plate. Kraft for salads.
What's Duke's
Hellman,
for?
Duke's is multi-use. Duke's is the damn Leatherman of.
I just got my 2-ounce Dukes today.
You buy a shot of Duke's.
I buy a shot of
one
Dukes.
sandwich.
You know why?
One sandwich.
If I got it, I'll eat it. I mean, not straight out of the drawer or out of the whatever. But.
With you're just sitting there with a glass of wine, your spoonful of mayonnaise, you're putting in pepper jack cheese and rolling it up.
Instead of tortillas, we use pepper jack cheese.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll see y'all in the second half, and I'll see if I can figure out that dick butt.
Ever wanted to start a podcast? Don't have the equipment or the know-how? Well, we've got you covered. From Behind the Barcast is expanding into the commercial studio space. You see, step 1 is making sure you sound great, because no matter how good your content may be, people don't want to listen to something that sounds like this. From Behind the Barcast and Paxton Eugene Productions now offer in-studio audio and video production. Or the studio can come to you. We offer mobile podcast production from wherever you are. Now, with the hard part out of the way, there's no excuse for you not to get started. So if you're in the Savannah area, shoot us an email at FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com for details and a quote. Again, that's FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com, and let's get your voice heard.
And welcome back. We're really luxuriating on this Montpellier de Buffon. It's a red wine from Italy. It's really good.
Speaking of Italy, this thing's not from Italy.
All right.
So we let you guys a little tease on the first half here.
Let's address this early on. So if you're on Spotify, open up your phone and take a look. If you haven't already in the first half. All right. So this visual aid here, this thing. I have 2 guesses that are both probably wrong. All right. Number 1, in the new Star Wars films, there are the little things that kind of look like penguins with the really big eyes.
Yep, that's it.
It looks like one of these with all their ears and flappers taken off. You know what I mean?
It is not from Star Wars.
Okay. The only other thing I could think was it is the girthiest, squattest penis you've ever seen with the 2 tiniest little balls at the bottom.
It's a dick.
Hey, I got it. I didn't.
It's a penis. Get off there. It's a penis.
With eyes.
With eyes.
And are these its balls or is it trying to
I
walk?
think it's just feet. So
Is it supposed to be a dicky bear? But
we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this.
yeah, please
So,
don't.
We basically
put this back in front of the baby.
But yeah, poor baby. So I post it on Facebook. And I'm like, what the F is this? Who keeps sending me weird shit in the mail? And Patrick Burns, shout out to Patrick Burns, Patreon listener, big listener of ours. He's posted the Dr. Evil's penis rocket thing. Blake Curry, that's a Turdic Foots, and the newest Pokemon. Lars, a chode. My buddy Nemisio, it's called a plushie. Don't rip the tag off. There is no tag. It's a nub. It's called a ding ding. Appreciate it from ex-guest Ash Hayden. Of course, Ash knew what it was.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He said, I used to have a tiny one on my car dash. Someone said, my turd buddy. Sydney, Rob's girlfriend, Sydney said, this is beautiful.
I mean, it is
And then
beautiful.
David Kennedy, a guy I grew up with karate with when I was younger, said, it's a penis pillow, bro. I bought my wife one years ago. To which I responded with, I got to ask, same color or...
You don't want to get
And
something
Jim Glass said, is potato.
is potato. You don't want to get something that's bigger than yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I was like, what is this and why is this? And
What and
so
why?
I was on the phone with, I think, Vinny. He goes, is there drugs inside of it? So I'm like, no, there's really soft drugs. It was from California. And I was like, no, there's any drugs in there. So yeah, it's a dick.
Hey, good.
It's a dick.
Thank you for the dick.
Yeah, I thought
Probably the first time you've ever heard that. Am I right?
Hey-o. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the dick now.
Yeah.
Throw that dick anywhere. We'll find a place for it on the table maybe, or put it over there by
All right, but let's
Sunset Kelly Gordon.
Let's get to the real thing here. So on the break,
Excuse me. Yeah,
so on the break, we go downstairs, and Clint has brought me over a new to me cast iron skillet.
yeah, because his got wounded in a battle.
It's just a weapon. Mine is just a weapon now.
And shout out my buddy Poe. He gave me his old Wolfgang Puck cast iron skillet he moved, which is the biggest one. I've got Le Creuset pans, though. You can use them the same way, so I don't really use my cast irons that much as I'm searing multiple steaks. And so I was like, you know what? I have one the same size as that with just deeper walls. So I was like, yeah, I'll just give this one to Paxton.
And what'd you call it? A loge? He goes, it's a loge. I was like, I think that's lodge, but I'm
Robert Loggia.
I'm no cast iron manufacturer.
Thank you, family guy, Robert Loggia.
So you had pickle brine some chicken breasts.
Chicken titties, yeah.
And we popped the cast iron onto the stove, and he goes, do you have any olive oil? And I was like, oh, actually, I don't. Oh, that's fine. Do you have any butter? No, I don't have any butter. But guess what we did have?
Clint goes, well, I brought some Blue Plate mayonnaise.
A gallon of Blue Plate mayonnaise. Now, Clint would not allow me to film this.
No, because I had to put my hands on it, like my bare hands.
So he takes the chicken out of the brine. He dries it off really well with some paper towels and puts it on a plate. I then spoon mayonnaise into his hands.
And I'm just
and he massages the chicken.
chicken titties. Nothing makes my chicken titty hands hotter than mayonnaise.
Slaps them some bitches right in the pan, and it sounded like it was frying.
It's oil. I mean, mayonnaise is oil and eggs.
It was delicious.
It was. I wrapped it in pepper jack cheese, threw them back in the pan for a second, got it all nice and melty, and it was good. In fact, you didn't even need to add mayonnaise, which I attempted to do, because I just can't have enough, and it was pretty good.
What we were talking about, it's like people are either all in on mayonnaise or vehemently against it, and we were talking about the mayonnaise instead of
what's
butter on grilled
worse
cheese.
is the third tier person that's like Miracle Whip only.
That's the...
What's wrong with you? Are you okay?
That's the...
You're a big brown dick plushie toy.
That sounds like the English people. They have what's called salad cream, which is basically Miracle Whip, but it's like kind of green. And that's what they put on their salads. Salad
Further
cream.
English food is garbage.
Yeah.
This is
like,
baking, apparently.
But anyway, so they were delicious, but I'm upset because when I pulled my phone out to film him doing this, he was like, absolutely not. Wait until they're in the pan. I was like, it's not that embarrassing that I'm slapping heaps of mayonnaise into your bare hands and you're rubbing them into chicken that's on a plate. That we're
I just wasn't going to be good. How'd you get flagged on Instagram? Okay, look, hear me out here.
Mayonnaise gate.
Mayonnaise and chicken titties.
God. Well, you know who probably likes Miracle Whip more than mayonnaise?
Oh, shit. It's the Karen
Hit the right button.
of the week.
He's gonna go
It's the
first.
Karen
really celebrating
of
here.
the week. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. That's right. It's everyone's favorite segment. Our most hated segment, the Karen of the week. So my Karen happened on the Saturday night in question with the karaoke and the...
And it wasn't karaoke, wasn't your Karen?
No, and no one...
Karen Yoki?
And no one that was really there for it. It wasn't this lady came like pretty much at the tail end. You know, she wasn't there for the whole thing. She didn't have any raffle tickets. She wasn't singing or anything like that. So she comes up. She says, hey, honey. I was like, hey, honey. She goes, I want 2 of them Devil Backbone and a Michelob Ultra. I was like, got it. I turned around to go start pouring the Devil's Backbone. It's a new beer we have.
Okay, I was like, what? I was like, what kind
It's
of
a Vienna
country is that?
lager, and if they were really busy and people want Yingling, I'll just go pour that because it tastes almost exactly the same. I'll just put my back to them and block the tap, whatever.
Yeah.
I turn around to pour these two.
The Devil's Yingling.
I turn around to pour these two. She goes, "Excuse me, I'm not done." I was like, "Well, when you go, I would like two, and I would like two of these and one of these,
And one of these. That's in.
kind of sounds like you're done."
No comment there.
I was like, whatever, because the last person that did like a 9-drink order ended up being like, hey, he was another bartender. It's like, sorry, man, I had you come back like 4 times. So then I go back. She goes, and I would also like, and this sounded like the the bookend, and I would also like a ranch
That
water.
is the end. And
Yeah.
I would also like.
Yeah. I want a Mexican mule. I don't know what happened. What was in the air that night? But I sold like 40 of
A
those.
bunch of jackasses?
I don't know. I mean, hey,
What's the Mexican mule?
A burro?
it's just tequila and ginger beer with
Yeah.
lime. I mean, that's how I made it.
It's a Moscow mule, but with
Yeah.
not from Moscow. It's
Yeah,
from-
I get the idea. Yeah, I wasn't mad about that. It's only 2
what's her
ingredients.
name?
I don't
Well, Ass Eating Caitlin likes those.
yeah, I don't even care. So I go to pour them. I give them to her. I turn back around. She goes, "Excuse me." And I was like, "I'm not turning around until I'm done, pouring these beers, whatever." So now it's a war of contrition.
It's a Mexican standoff.
Exactly. I'm going to be a burro because I'm going to be stubborn, baby. So I'm going as slow as I possibly can. Once I get her the first 4 drinks that she orders, what do you think Karen does? She turns around and looks for her friend whom she's supposed to be ordering something for. Jackie, what did you say you wanted? I've got the drinks in front of her. I'm waiting on this lady. I see some other people. I'm like, if I leave now and go get these other people, if they take, 5 minutes or whatever, like running me back and forth, by the time I get back to her, she'll be yelling at me the whole time. So I stayed with her. She found Jackie.
Thank God I was worried about Jackie.
Yeah. Jackie wants an ultra. All right. One more ultra. Will that be it? I think so.
I think so.
Do you have anyone else that wants to order? I don't know. Give me a second. I was like, that's $24, whatever. This person. Hand in the pocketbook in the wallet. Starts to look for a cash or a card, whatever. A butterfly goes by, and all of her attention goes away. She's like, "Oh!" I'm staring at her hand in her wallet for the next 3 minutes. I'm like, "Ma'am, I got other people." She's like, "Hold on, I'm digging." She pulls out like 4 wadded up $1 bills, and I was like, "Okay, well, that's not enough cash, obviously." She goes, "Oh, that's not enough cash." I'm like, "God."
That counts.
Here comes the card. Hands me the card.
Piece of gift card?
It's wonky. It's not a library card, but it doesn't have a chip or a strip or very many numbers. And I was like, "Is you sure?" She goes, "That's my card." I try and run it a couple of times. It ain't reading nothing. So I'm like,
Of course not.
even if it does work, finally, she has to get her friend to, she goes, "I don't know what's wrong with their machine, but blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Nothing's wrong."
And Jackie's like, this happens a lot.
So Jackie's like, oh, honey, I'll get it. Let me go find my purse. You're going to go find your, okay. All right.
So you're like 15 minutes in.
Yeah, and it's like a $24, $28 drink order now. I'm not letting this person, because they will slide away if they can.
And you're just like, on principle alone.
Yeah, people have picked up, whoever she's been ordering for, they've all kind of came and gotten their stuff. And a lot of people, if they're drunk and they order a bunch of stuff and people take it away and then you give them the price, they're like, and if they're only think you're charging for the things that are sitting in front of them currently, not for the things that you had given them. Jackie goes to look for her purse. Jackie comes back, pays the tab. Jackie comes back and tips $2 on 28. Thanks, Jack. Maybe Jackie is the new Karen.
I mean, it got so contentious that I had to go ahead and Karen up. I was just like, you know what? I feel like I wasn't ready here, but it was time because this is quite, this will tie into my ability to wear a wig. Is not watching this.
Nice.
Things aren't
we're
going
writing this
well.
out.
Kelly got it all. Okay, look,
There you go.
This got real slippery over the
Ooh,
week.
you look great.
Thank you. How about now?
Jackie. Oh, you're beautiful,
yeah.
honey.
If Caitlin would like fix my hair. So, thank you. Shout out to Maddie Williams. Sent this to me about a month ago, and I had it in my backup notes because I didn't really have time to have a Karen this week at work at undisclosed location. Slammed as shit. One of the most profitable work weeks I've ever had in my entire career. But Jesus Christ, I was useless on Saturday. So I couldn't even make note. Like, I had one note, and it was just even Google Translate was like, "We don't speak Mandarin, Clint."
Yeah, right.
You know, because so this is a game that was put on a server. This Karen ass bitch has a server, not a server, who spent multiple times coming back and forth from this table. It's brunch, so it's like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Now, was she witnessing this?
No, it was on TikTok.
Okay,
she sent me a TikTok about this guy explaining it, and the guy was very aggressive about it because he should be.
He was the server?
Yeah, so he's been back and forth. It's brunch. He's busy. They've been through three cases of bottomless mimosas or whatever. They're a little hammered, and they're like, they pay with a card. They're like, we're gonna tip you in cash. He's like, all right, thank you. Comes back with the card. Here you go. They're like, all right, here's how it is. We've got 1, 2, and 3 envelopes for you. One envelope has $1 in it. One envelope has 20% tip, and one has between 20% tip and $300 in it. You can pick up an envelope only once for each envelope. You can choose to hold on to it or put it back and check another one. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about your stupid goddamn game.
Bitch.
I am working hard. I am busy. I don't have time to play games with you to see if you want to tip me the right amount so you can get more TikTok views on your shit because they're filming this the whole time. They're doing this for their own TikTok clout.
How old were these people?
So he's probably my age, and they were older.
I'm talking about the bitches.
The Karens, they were a flock of Karens, so over 50.
Yeah.
One was going to drive home, get a DUI, and with her kid be in the backseat the entire time they're eating, probably.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not playing your goddamn game. You can sound what you want to give me. You can give me nothing. I don't care right now. I am too busy to deal with this shit. This is stupid as hell. I'm sorry you want TikTok clout, but you're not going to use me because you don't have the ability to tip right. It's got to be your thing. You got to have a game out of this. Now, here's my thing. You've got a 66% chance of getting 20% or better. How are you? What I'm doing? I'm taking all 3 envelopes.
I'm swiping all 3 envelopes and walking away.
Can I hold 2 at one time?
Yeah.
Put it down, put another one up, put it down, and start picking it up, put it down so fast, and then all 3 of them in your hand and go, here's what you get, Karen. Nothing.
All of a sudden, you're hiding in the kitchen.
Yeah.
What server? He doesn't work
He
here.
doesn't work here anymore. Exactly. I would never hide in the kitchen. But yeah, you get out of there.
You know what it sounds like? Remember, have you ever seen 4 Rooms?
Yeah, an amazing movie.
Amazing movie. So at the very last one,
Great director, too.
the 4th Room that Quentin Tarantino directed, they were like, will you chop the guy's thumb off for and they're debating this endlessly.
Yeah.
And then one guy just walks up, hacks his finger off, grabs the 10K off of the.
Yeah.
So I would the best thing
chop the thumb off.
Yeah. Well, the best thing to do is spill all their mimosa glasses over, swipe the.
Oh yeah,
swipe the envelopes all at the same time.
Come back, and they're like, well, you want your envelopes back? Bring them back all the empty envelopes.
Dang. Oh, I wasn't supposed to take all of them already. Oh, I'm sorry.
I already spent that money.
What a stupid fucking look. All right. Hopefully this is how it actually went down. They put the 3 envelopes out there. They wanted to film it. They ended up giving him the largest one.
Amount. You would hope.
Man, if they didn't.
But this guy was like, I made my last TikTok video, and some of y'all got kind of mad about it. Let me tell you the whole goddamn story. And so he had gone off about it, I guess, slightly, and people got mad at him. He got some pushback on that because he could have gotten the big tip. And so he came back and was like, here's the whole story. Here's what's going on around this.
Also, listen, if you've never worked, if you're not in the industry, and if you've ever worked a brunch shift, those are set. It's always a weekend, because you don't have
Saturday,
brunch.
Sunday.
Yeah, you don't have
Sunday.
brunch on a Tuesday. So this is a Saturday or Sunday. It's your busiest shifts and your lowest
sales per customer. Especially if you work at like Lily's that does brunch. I would work nights at Lily's, like one lunch a week and nights. I didn't work Sundays. I don't work Sundays. But I didn't work Sundays or.
And you're mad at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, because somebody's working, not me. I'll stay home Chick-fil-A too. Ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. Got everything to do with pigskin Jesus.
Yeah, I got you.
Or just I'm old. I don't want to work on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's my day to rest. God rest. Let Moses rest too. Okay.
Yeah, Joey Diaz said he's like, only a Momo works on a Sunday. What are you doing out there?
And so I lost my train of thought completely. Thanks, Weed.
You're talking about mayonnaise. You're talking
You remember. So, but working brunch, if you're working nights at a decent restaurant, your per person average is around $30. You'd hope at least, if not around 50. But at brunch, with often bottomless mimosas, $10, $15.
yeah.
Meal, $10, $15. You're looking at $30 per person max. But the amount of effort you're putting in.
Way more
and brunch is
effort.
bananas crazy because after church it fills up even more. Like you open up at 11, right? You're busy from 11 to about 12:30. You have a little bit of a lull, and then here comes Jesus crowd.
Yeah.
And they've had to sit through church, most of which, shocker here, don't like church, but they're there because they feel like they've got to go.
It's a
They
social
come in-
thing.
Yeah, they need to drink
Yeah.
to get rid of the social thing. Like a table I had a few weeks ago that said, "Oh, yeah, what kind of drinks we got to get, guys? We got these Bloody Marys and this other drink I won't mention." And they're like, "Well, we're here for a Baptist convention, so we can't drink." I'm like, "If I put you at individual tables, will you?"
Oh, wow.
Only one of them laughed,
Oh.
and he laughed a lot.
Crickets.
That's a funny joke.
yeah.
How do you eat a Jewish guy to eat bacon?
I saw a note, and this sounds like something that these Karens would do, but instead of a tip, they turn the credit card slip over and they write you a note on the back, and not a Jesus note, but so I saw it on Reddit today, and they turned it over. They go, no tip because you were taking care of the other tables better than you were taking care of us. It's not our fault. You're having a bad day.
Oh, it wasn't a tip. It was notes on
Notes, yeah.
criticisms.
And then it goes, I was a server before too, and now I own my own restaurant because I took care of my customers. Da 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 da. But the bitch didn't tip.
Oh hell nah.
And so speaking of brunch, the thing, daytime tips are always and brunch tips, because dinner you're having more drinks, you're having more food, it
Spending
costs
more money.
spending more money, but they don't realize the effort value that goes into running back and forth, because if something's bottomless, people are going to treat it as if it's bottomless.
When
And
I was
you're
at
gonna be
Lily's,
filling that
I had
shit
I had
up.
to pick up a brunch shift. Maybe it was like a major holiday. Father's Day, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I think it was Mother's Day or Easter. It's probably Easter. Either way, it's a busy day, and I'm watching them do bottomless mimosas for and I haven't worked a brunch since they opened, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's been like 2.5 years, and I'm watching them do this, and I was like, why don't we buy little carafes and fill it up with mimosa and put it on the table
Yeah.
and just fill those up? And they were like, Vinny was like, oh, don't. That's a really good idea. I was like, yeah, dude.
Wouldn't the
pictures.
bubblies stop being bubbly if they just sit there? Or they blow through.
You
them
know who's
goddamn
not
thing.
caring
Yeah.
about that?
Hey yo.
See what I did there?
Hey yo.
So,
When's the last time you actually had brunch? Okay, here's the thing. I love everything about brunch.
Does it count if I made it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
That's when I went to brunch?
Yeah, like at a restaurant, because brunch invariably is probably the
You want the truth or you want
Yeah.
to just guess?
no. Yeah,
You
just
talk
guess.
amongst yourself.
Okay.
Data Carvey said that like he was talk amongst yourself. And I was like, that's a good line.
All right, so
Carvey.
the typical brunch fare, number one, you can't have anything to do for the rest of the day because you're having eggs Benedict with all the hollandaise in the world, which is butter.
Right.
It's got poached eggs, yolks are running all over the place. A little bit of eggs flow, a little bit of hash brown, a little bit of crab cake. All the normal brunch stuff. It's delicious, but I'm never going to go to a goddamn restaurant that's busy at brunch, because every restaurant is busy at brunch. And it's sort of overpriced because they'll be like, oh, poached eggs on Tuesday, but eggs Benedict on Tuesday. Well, that's $9.95.
Yeah.
Do that on a Saturday morning, it's $14.95, whatever. Yeah, there's obviously a markup because they'll put one extra. They're like, oh, this time we put spinach underneath it. Now, if you're putting salmon or a crab cake up underneath it, hey, I'll pay the premium, baby. Let's go. But the thing is, you can make brunch for yourself. I don't care how good of a chef you are or how good of a home cook
Right.
you are. You're never going to make hollandaise sauce like a restaurant will. You're never going to make the hash browns as crispy as that restaurant will. Those restaurants, they have flat tops with sections on them that are at the temperature for eggs so that you don't overcook your eggs.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, those hash browns are just getting crispy as shit. And you can't buy the products that they used to lube those sumbitches up. The shit that they buy is industrial grade.
Moisturizer.
It's called something because I've seen it at the Breakfast Club.
Lord.
This is not made from an animal. This has never seen an animal.
Largerin?
It's just like popcorn at the movie theater. There's a thing that you don't know about it. They pour this shit on there and it's not MSG. It's some kind of pink shit.
Yeah, it's not butter. It's.
It's not.
I can believe it's not butter.
Yeah, and then they use the butter oil. And then if you're really smart, like we talked about before, I don't know if you guys remember, but you get an extra straw.
Yep.
That you're not putting it in your soda, and you stick it in the little thing so that you can get butter at the bottom of your butter bucket.
Butter shake that bad boy. So okay, I did some research while you were rambling over there on things I didn't catch all of.
It was good.
Okay,
It was
so
good.
I have a couple of questions. To caveat this. Do I have to have gone to brunch in the city I live in? Because when you travel, you are more prone to brunching because you're traveling.
Did you go to a survey on this or something? Did you just Google that over there?
This is literally
Is that why you made me ramble about crispy hash browns for that long? You were over there Googling who goes to brunch.
I didn't. No. I was going. In my text stream, you can search a word through all the text on your phone. So I typed in brunch to see when the last time I went to brunch was. So all the times I've written the word brunch are in there also. And so one of them was I want to say I was trolling my sister about coming to meet her for brunch, and like all the responses from me are like, "Oh, me and Julie are coming, almost there, almost here," and I'm like, I had to jump somebody's car off, and then I think she eventually called me. I was like, "What's up?" I'm just chilling on the couch.
No
one was coming.
No one asked you to go to brunch in the opportune time.
And so the last time I actually had brunch was in October, but it was in Atlanta.
Right.
And I went to the Hood brunch. Not Hood, but it was like the all black brunch place with V and Talia and Vinny after I went to the Braves game. So I went to brunch, but I was out of town.
I've never had black brunch. I mean, I'm sure it's a thing. I'm sure it's like
I talked about it. They had music playing everywhere. It was awesome. The food was amazing. Strawberry waffles.
any soul food, however they decide to do it
I
is
had
good.
strawberry chocolate waffles. They're amazing. I can remember Frankenberry's name. Sorry.
Frankenberry's. We were trying. What were we trying to remember?
Strawberry chocolate sounds like a sex move. I gave this girl strawberry chocolate last night.
No, that sounds like a horror porn.
Strawberry chocolate.
Watch out, strawberry chocolate is gonna get you.
It's like the troll version of Candyman. It's strawberry chocolate.
We were trying to think of, so Kelly, we were talking about the chicken at the break, and Kelly was like, man, I made some chicken. All right, so what's the place? It's not Applebee's. It's not Ruby Tuesdays.
We're like TGI Fridays?
TGI Fridays.
Biggins.
Hooters.
Nope.
We go through 100 and we're like, I'm kind of like, Kelly, give it up, man. There's no more fast casual restaurants. And then he goes, Chili's.
And we're like, damn it, Chili's!
We forgot.
Chili's!
That's like the Mount Rushmore of fast casual.
It is. I ate a carrot here, which is why I'm dying over here.
And then so we started talking about Chili's, and I was like, I should have thought of Chili's. I ate there on 9/11.
Whoa.
I watched.
Planes go down at Chili's?
No. Because they hit it like 9 in the morning or something like that. I'd woken up.
They don't have brunch at Chili's.
Yeah. And I had to meet someone that day. It was like a meeting. It was for the studio. And I go down there and
For flight lessons?
every TV was the smoldering the one building had already fallen.
Before the first
Before the second tower fell.
Okay.
So we're at Chili's dipping, pizza shooters, and boom. And all I heard was one of the servers go, well, y'all better go donate some blood.
That's actually pretty.
I mean, yeah, but I was like, okay, but let's just maybe moment of silence. I don't know.
People are dying.
Or more pizza shooters.
Or pizza shooters, whiskey.
You know what? We're
whiskey
going to do
flippers.
mimosas.
Yeah.
So you had all your epic Saturday was in the first half?
That was it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because it was just the battle of the bands versus karaoke.
See, so my Friday was a double. 13 hours is a long time to work. And I was like, I'm tough. No break for me. So when I got out of the car and when I got back in the car, the next two times, last time I sat, the next time I sat, I did sit on a planter outside for 45 seconds and hid behind this couple. Was like, I'm sorry, I just need a second to breathe. And they're like, yeah, that's good, honey. And I was like,
Did they
thank
see you in your apron and they took some pity on you? Like, yeah, go ahead and sit. Buddy.
No, that was my table. I was just talking to him and I was like, I just got to sit down. They're like, we don't mind. I'm like, good, because I need to sit down. Like, I was just exhausted. And when you sit down for the first time in a long, like that didn't register in my body.
Yeah.
When I get in the car, start driving, I'm like 30 minutes in my body's like,
oh wow.
Because I need to take I'm 41 years old. I need to sit down for a few minutes because it was just go. But I sold $4,000 by myself on Friday. $4,000 all day by myself. That is a lot to do. If you're not in the industry, you understand that.
At Chili's too.
At Chili's.
Holy shit.
Of all places. God,
Were
I
you
went
smoking
down like one of those towers.
Were you smoking a cigarette?
No.
Oh, because
I don't smoke. I usually don't smoke unless I'm drinking. This night though, I think I did go smoke a cigarette like 9:30.
Yeah.
And that's probably what I said on the first time.
Yeah.
I was 12 hours in, and I was like, I'm just good. I'm smoking so I can sit down, not because I want a cigarette.
Yeah.
Or maybe both.
Well, I mean, I drink 98% of the nights that I work, so I'm going to be smoking. And I'll run down the ramp to try and get a peaceful cigarette.
Nothing says going to smoke like running.
Yeah. And I'll run down the ramp, and people are like, hey, what's up? I'm like, I was going to come to smoke a cigarette. And they're like, oh, I'll come smoke with you. I'm like, please don't.
I'll go stand next to you and not talk to you. And just kind of look at you and be like, going bad? And you're like, I'm like, cool.
He tried to out-ignore me one time.
We talked about this before.
Oh, we did? Yeah.
You got contact high. That's great. Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
We'll talk about it again.
Yeah,
I was close.
speaking of contacts
Okay.
and being too high, I went to a tranny bachelor party, and we're going to talk about that on the Patreon. Let me just tell you this. I had to convince this tranny may or may not make it to the room. I had to convince, there's 6 of us, I had to convince 2 of the guys it was indeed a dude.
And was this on purpose?
Find out on the Patreon.
I guess you'll have to. I guess I'll have to find on the.
We got an
Patreon.
F count.
Yeah, I think.
3 Clint, 2 Paxton, 0 Kelly Gordon over there.
Pit Chief
I think
Kelly.
I may have said F when I was choking to death on the Karen wig.
And maybe possibly. And
Brush her.
if we could get a little rundown from you, tell us how it went today. How'd you feel about today's laps?
I thought the first segment went really well. I thought there were some improvements. There were some engineering issues that we navigated.
Okay.
Clint was fast as always out front. Paxton finds a spot in the back. Both start at the top of the grid.
Right.
You found your opening, and we're just going to see what happens at the end here.
Anything you're gonna think about for next week? Maybe. I mean, I know you came in 1 and 2, but
I just want to thank Ron back at the shop for keeping Breezy running. I want to thank the boys up at the loft for keeping things going.
Yep.
We're a privateer. We're trying to keep things going, and we don't have the budget that some teams do. But I think we got 2 good guys out there.
So you're saying we'll make it work with what we got?
I think yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like that. All right. Well, good.
I like our chances here, and I just I just want to thank Lay's. I want to thank Pepsi, Coca-Cola,
and the Chevrolet,
Doritos, Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Ferrari,
Tito's.
Tito's.
We'd like to thank Montpelier Alhambra wine.
I just but I like our chances, and I just appreciate what the team's doing for us, and we're gonna get back to it.
Well, thanks for chatting with us. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah,
and
we'll have a little side screen of that there for you.
And we'll try and get that together. Thank you guys for listening this week. Thank you to the patrons. Thank you to our Instagram followers,
guys.
If you don't already, it's free. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. From Behind the
on
Barcast.
all your podcasting apps.
Spotify,
Rate,
Apple.
review. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, do whatever you want. And we love you guys.
Some listing on this.
And we'll see some of you in the Patreon.